नमस्कार मित्रांनो, मी भारत बापू सावळवाडे, श्रीमती अक्काताई नानाने जे हायस्कूल दत्तवाड या ठिकाणी कार्यरत आहे. आता या व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण इयत्ता 9वी विज्ञान आणि तंत्रज्ञान भाग 2 मधील लाईफ प्रोसेसेस इन लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम्स हे प्रकरण अभ्यासणार आहोत. नाव in this chapter we are going to study the life processes in living organisms. Here the first part in the living organisms is the transportation process. It is the process in which the absorbed or synthesized substances are moved from one part of the body to another part of the body. Plants show two types of conducting tissues, xylem and phloem. And the xylem conducts water, phloem conducts food. Now, the transportation of water in plants is to be considered if balsam plant is taken with intact roots and the roots are inserted in the color containing safranin solution or eosin stain, and after 2 to 3 hours the veins of the leaves will also show the color of the eosin or safranin. This indicates that colorful substance is raised through this stem and reached up to the veins. As this plant is very small or short in height, this process is conducted through the root pressure. Now, what is the root pressure that we will see next? Here there are the root hair are present. This is the root of the plant, and around this root hair the soil particles are there, and water is present in this soil in more amount as compared with the cells present in the root hair. Now, as there is a difference between the concentration of water outside the body and inside the body, that means outside soil contains large proportion of water and inside the cell there is less proportion or less concentration of water. And as there is a difference between the water concentration, water moves from this higher concentration to lower concentration. Again, the adjacent cells are with low water concentration and this cell is now with higher water concentration. Again, here water moves from this higher water concentration to lower water concentration. Again to the next adjacent cell, again to the next adjacent cell. Likewise, the water moves from higher water concentration to lower water concentration, and at every stage it moves in forward direction and ultimately it reaches into the xylem, and this xylem conducts this water in upward direction. This is nothing but the root pressure theory. But this root pressure theory is applicable only for the dwarf plants or plants with small heights or shrubs like this. Now, the another theory is put forth by the scientists, which is called as transpiration pull. Now, what is this transpiration pull? We will see. As we know, plants are green in color due to the chlorophyll pigmentation, and chloroplasts which are present in the leaves perform the process of photosynthesis, and in this photosynthesis process the water molecules are produced. That excess amount of water molecules are to be given out of the body. To give out this water, there are some openings on the surface of the leaves are there. These are called as the stomata. That means stomatal pore or stomatal openings are there. Now, this is the surface of the leaf, and lower surface of the leaf has the stomata, stomatal opening. Now, the stomatal opening is guarded by the two guard cells, and these guard cells control the loss of water. Now, actually, the water molecules which are reached at these cells. From these cells, these water molecules are given out of the body or given out of the cells in the form of water vapor, and that water vapor comes out of the stomatal pore. As a result, this water which is coming out of this cell pulls the water from the adjacent cell. Again, this cell, when gets evacuated, it pulls water from the next adjacent cell. Likewise, water coming out of this cell pulls the other water molecules which are present in the internal cells. That means this is nothing but the transpiration pull. That means the process of transpiration pulls the water from downward to upward direction. This is the transpiration pull. Now, the next part is the transportation of food and other substances in plants. We know that food is produced in leaves in the form of glucose in the process of photosynthesis, and after formation of this glucose gets converted into amino acids, fats, some other substances are also formed, and that is totally known as the food. Now, this food is to be transported from leaves to the other parts of the body, and this process of transportation of food is known as translocation. This is carried out by the conducting tissue phloem, and this process requires energy in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. This cell in which sucrose is in more amount, the water gets entered in it by the process of diffusion, and when sufficient pressure of water is created in that cell, the food is pushed in the neighboring cells or adjacent cells. This is the transportation of food in plants. Now we will discuss about the excretion. In Marathi we call it as the utsarjan. Okay, this excretion is the process in which in our body various chemical reactions take place, or various chemical reactions are conducted, and afterward some substances like urea, uric acid, ammonia are produced in the living organisms, and these substances accumulate in the body or are retained in the body for a long time, and they may cause serious harm or even death. Hence, it is necessary to remove such harmful and waste substances from the body, and different organisms have different methods of doing this. Now, this process of giving out or removing of the waste material is known as excretion. In unicellular organisms, these are directly eliminated across the cell surface, but in multicellular organisms, the process is complicated. In plants, excretion is a very simple process because plants doesn't have any excretory organ. As a result, plants have to give out the excretory substances in different manner because there is no special organ or system for excretion in plants is there. Most of the waste substances of plants are stored in vacuoles of leaf cells and in flowers, fruits, bark of the stem, etc. पानांच्या मध्ये, रिक्तिकांच्या मध्ये, फुलांमध्ये, फळांमध्ये, झाडाच्या सालीमध्ये अशा प्रकारे हे टाकाऊ पदार्थ साठवले जातात आणि तिथून ते बाहेर टाकायचे असतात. आफ्टर सम टाइम these parts fall off, and along falling parts the excretory material is also given out of the body, and ultimately these parts come into the soil, and from that material again the next food material is made available for the plant. Elephant's foot plant, that is Amorphophallus or arum leaves, याला मराठीमध्ये आपण सुरण म्हणतो. हे कापत असताना हाताला खाज सुटते तर अशा पद्धतीनं हाताला खाज सुटू नये म्हणून काही वेळेला चिंचेचं पाणी त्या ठिकाणी वापरलं जात असतं. तर ती खाज कशामुळे सुटते, तर त्या झाडामध्ये कॅल्शियम ऑक्झलेट नावाचे क्रिस्टल्स खडे असतात की ज्यांच्यामुळं इचिंग प्रोसेस होते, म्हणजे खाज सुटण्याची प्रक्रिया होते. अँड दीज क्रिस्टल्स आर कॉल्ड ॲज दी रॅफाइट्स. ॲज दीज आर निडल शेप्ड, दे prickle and cause irritation of the skin. Also, some excretions like gum, resin, latex of rubber, etc. are also there in the form of the excretory substances. The process of excretion in human beings. There are different organ systems in human body, to bring about the different life processes. Here, the excretory system is well developed in the human body. The excretory system consists of pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder, and the urethra. And urine is formed by the kidneys by separating the waste and unwanted substances from the blood. Now you can see here the human excretory system is shown. In this human excretory system, this is a kidney, one to the right side and one to the left side. The kidney which is to the left side is slightly upper in position, and the kidney which is present in right side is slightly lower in position. And each kidney gives a ureter, that means a pair of ureters are there, and in the lower abdominal cavity there is the urinary bladder, and which has urethra in forward direction. Here each kidney shows the outer cortex, middle part is the medulla, and from which the collecting tubules collect together to form the renal pelvis. And from this renal pelvis, the ureter starts to go towards the bladder. Also, each kidney is given the supply of the inferior vena cava, which collects blood from this kidney, and the artery which supplies blood to both the kidneys separately. Okay, now we can see the structure of a single kidney in detail like this. This is the outermost part, that is the cortex. Here there is the renal pyramid like structure is shown here. Renal artery is supplying blood to the kidney, and renal vein collecting blood from the kidney, and this is the ureter, and this portion of the renal pelvis is the renal calyx. Okay, now the two bean-shaped kidneys are situated one on either side of the vertebral column on the posterior side of the abdomen. पृष्ठरज्जूच्या दोन्ही बाजूला अशा पद्धतीने त्यांचं स्थान असतं. The functional unit of the kidney that performs the basic function of filtration is called nephron. That structure of this nephron will be seen in next part. Each nephron has a cup-like, thin-walled upper part called Bowman's capsule, that is shown here, and there is a network of capillaries called glomerulus is present inside this Bowman's capsule. We will see the structure of nephron. This is the Bowman's capsule, bulged part, in which the blood capillary network is there called as glomerulus, where the filtration process takes place. From one side artery comes, it gives branches to form the capillaries, and the another side is in continuity with the vein. That means there is formation of vein. Now here this Bowman's capsule is continued to form a convoluted part, folded part, elongated part, and reaches up to this collecting duct. Now This part is called as the proximal convoluted tubule near to the glomerulus. This is the loop of Henle, and then this is the distal convoluted tubule, that means end part, and then it is continued into the ureter. Now the filtered substances or the removed out substances get entry into this proximal convoluted tubule. It starts its journey through this tubule towards the collecting duct, but during this process the vein which coming out from this glomerulus covers this tubule, and useful substances like glucose, sodium chloride, sodium carbonate, likewise other substances which are useful to the body, that are recovered and it goes towards the heart, but the remaining parts, that means the excretory substances, are given out of the tubule into the collecting duct. This collecting duct from various parts of the cortex get collected together to form the renal pelvis, and from this renal pelvis the ureter is produced, and from this ureter the urine which is produced is collected into the urinary bladder, where the urine is temporarily stored, and whenever the sufficient pressure is created, it is given out of the body through the process of micturition or urination. Each kidney has about 10 lakh nephrons, मराठीमध्ये याला आपण वृक्काणू म्हणतो. The approximately 5 liter of blood which is present in the human body is filtered by the kidneys about 400 times every day. Thus, every day the kidney filters about 190 liters of blood, from which only 1 to 1.9 liters of urine is formed. The remaining liquid is reabsorbed. Thank you.